Just in 1 or 2 minutes we'll start.
Hello, am I audible, guys?
Yes, Ishan, you are audible.
Okay, sir. सर स्टार्ट कर दे क्या, रुके थोड़ा?
हाँ हाँ, स्टार्ट करो.
ओके ओके, जस्ट 1 second. Guys, so the main motive of this session was about the factual essays. Just a second, I'll start the video. So the main motive of this session was to discuss about the factual essays, and also, like, I wanted to discuss a few mistakes that you guys are making in several of your essays. So I'll just briefly discuss the factual essays, because I don't think that the factual essays are very important nowadays, because I'm sure many of you have seen UPSC is now moving towards the philosophical essay. Okay. So yeah, first of all, the basic things that I shared in my so one will start directly with that topic that I shared. Geography remains the same, need not. Okay, so देखो, the first mistakes that you guys are making, I'll just go directly into the mistakes that you're making. First of all, India शुरू में introduction India, you're going, फिर second paragraph of the introduction India, then first paragraph India, third paragraph of the body India, conclusion फिर India. I also love my country, मतलब इतना नहीं, देश दुनिया में और भी देश हैं, ठीक है? So मतलब थोड़ा diversify करो examples को. Don't be limited to only India. मतलब starting बीच में India, फिर से India, उतना नहीं examples देने. Limit of one. The question is not asking about India, just one example of India, or at most two. Okay, with beyond two, no more. If the question is specifically about India, then you can give the Indian example, or you have to give the Indian example. But apart from that, India को सिर्फ एक बार या दो बार maximum mention करना, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं. ठीक है? Okay, so that is one thing I wanted to say. Secondly, you guys are using long sentences. Okay, जैसे I'll just give a small example. मतलब exactly word to word तो याद नहीं है, but in one copy that I saw, someone was, they had used the conjunction and D 5 times in the same paragraph. Okay, in the same sentence. The one line was around 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, एक ही लाइन खत्म नहीं हो रहा, एक सेंटेंस खत्म नहीं हो रहा. ठीक है? The examiner will lose interest by he reaches the end of the paragraph. It is not possible for someone to read through the entire paragraph if there is no break in between. ठीक है? I said this. So a very simple way to check how if your sentence is too long is to read that sentence. Obviously not in the exam hall, but now since you're practicing now, read that sentence aloud. जोर से पढ़ो उसको, ठीक है? मतलब जोर से मैं चिल्ला के नहीं, मतलब जस्ट जोर से पढ़ो उसको. Just by the time you reach the end of the sentence, if you are out of breath, then that means that is too long. ठीक है? देखो, I know where you have got this. I'm pretty sure that even I had this problem. I had read too many books from like renowned Shakespeare or Tolkien or Victor Hugo, stuff, people like that. They use long paragraph, long sentences. एक Victor Hugo का paragraph तो 800 word का है, one paragraph. But you guys are not that. मतलब हम लोग उतने बड़े writers तो ठीक है. So small crisp sentences. Okay, छोटे छोटे sentences बना, जितने मिनिमल अमाउंट ऑफ कंजंक्शंस उतना बढ़िया होगा तुम्हारा इससे. अच्छा, थर्ड, ग्रामर. या देखो रहना लेके नहीं बैठना है, ठीक है, आई एक्सेप्ट दैट तुम लोग को अभी यू डोंट हैव टू बी ग्रामरियंस, बट मिनिमल नॉलेज ऑफ ग्रामर इज वेरी नेसेसरी. ओके, बाय मिनिमल नॉलेज व्हाट डू आई मीन, व्हेन टू यूज ए एंड द, ठीक है, व्हेन सेंटेंस फॉर्मेशन कैसे करनी है, बेसिक थिंग्स. ओके, जस्ट नॉट की फुल स्टॉप सेमीकोलन ये सब कहाँ लगाना है, वो सब तो जाएगा, दैट इज फाइन, बट at least the sentence structure should be such examiner doesn't lose interest while reading it. Okay, ग्रामर का काम क्या है, ग्रामर ये है कि तुम्हारा जो सेंटेंस है उसको वो ठीक से अपना मीनिंग समझा सके तुम्हारे दिखा रहे हो, जिसको तुम अपना एग्जाम या फिर तुम जिसको ऐसे दिखा रहे हो, दैट इज द बेसिक थिंग दैट ग्रामर डज. बिल्कुल मतलब उल्टा फल्टा का ग्रामर का कोशिश करो कि नहीं लिखने का. Okay, I find that will be very difficult for you guys if you're not from an English medium background, but minimal grammar there, at least and kahan use karna hai, which kahan use karna hai, but where you have to use but, therefore, against, these words, the exact position of these words is important. नहीं तो sentence का structure पूरा खराब हो जाएगा. And if the sentence structure is it's completely wrong, then the entire explanation, regardless of how well you have explained it, it will go to waste. So obviously अभी तुम लोगों को ग्रामर का बुक लेके नहीं बैठना है. So what you will have to, newspapers is a very good tool to properly understand and uphold your grammar or your language. Newspaper editorial, okay, very very important. Obviously मतलब जो हाई फाई जो editorials होते हैं, not those simple type के editorials, सी राजा मोहन सर के जो आते हैं, that is a very good. अशोक गुलाटी सर का आता है, that is also very good. If you can also read Pratap Bhanu Mehta sir's editorials, that is also very good. So these people write very good essays, very good editorials. So go through their editorials. Okay. अच्छा, fourthly, several people do not know when to stop. Okay, मतलब एक एग्जांपल, एक पर्टिकुलर डायमेंशन का तुम लोग कर रहे हो, फाइन. लेट अस अज्यूम कि विद ज्योग्राफी, जैसे ये वाला क्वेश्चन ही था, ज्योग्राफी रिमेन्स द सेम, हिस्ट्री नीड नॉट बी. You are talking about the colonial of India. That is fine. But what you have done, you have continued with that same thought process, two or three paragraphs. Someone mic is on. Anjali, your mic is on. Please. Yeah. So, given this example of the colonialism of India, which is fine, it's a good example. But you have to do that for the next 2 or 3 paragraphs. खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा, ब्रिटिश का colonialism हो गया है, ठीक है, इंडिया का स्वतंत्रता मिल गया, देन आफ्टर दैट यू आर गोइंग इनटू द पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस, व्हाई, और एग्जांपल्स नहीं है, मतलब should know when to put a full stop to your example. ठीक है, the basic thing is, if you're taking one example and you're explaining one dimension, it should not go beyond half a page, paragraph, that is it. Go to the next dimension, go to the next paragraph. Okay, learn when to stop your giving that particular example. ऐसे चलता रहेगा तो like diversify your answer, right? And remember that we only have a limited number of pages. Okay. Then another mistake is using wrong examples in wrong places. Okay, ये blunder नहीं करना है. देखो, geography remains the same, history need not be. The topic is very self-explanatory, but इसमें if you use wrong example, if you use the example of North Korea, South Korea in geography, changing geography has not changed, the history has changed. Okay, North Vietnam, South Vietnam. Okay, the geography has not changed, the history has changed. Many of you have used it in the example, geography has changed and history has not changed. Is that possible? Okay, if you examples, you should know where to use it, you should know properly, understand where to use it. That's why brainstorming is very important before writing your essay. Okay, when you're a particular point with regards to your essay, उसको लोगों को रफ वर्क में पहले लिखना है. Okay, completely do not agree with this fact that you can write your essay directly. Don't do that. Please make a rough work. When you're brainstorming your points, when you're thinking of several points, at that point only you should have the clarity कि मैं ये वाला example इस वाले dimension में लूँगा. ठीक है. So that was one thing. And देखो, with this question now, you have so many examples. Why are you listening to India? Okay, you can give the example of USA. Okay, or you can give just guys, like give me minutes. I just have a like something is come. Just 5 minutes, okay? So really sorry. Hello, sorry guys. Really sorry for that. Am I audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So you can give the example of the US. Okay. You can give the example. If you're giving the example of colonialism, you can give the example of so many other countries. Okay. You can give the example of Latin America. You can give the example of Indonesia, of Malaysia. Okay. So there are so many countries which also suffered from colonialism. Why are you restricting yourself to India? Okay. If you're talking about civilizations, okay, civilization is fine. You're using the Indus Valley civilization. That is fine. But there was also the Egyptian civilization. There was also the Mesopotamian civilization. There was also the Chinese civilization, Roman, Greeks. There are so many civilizations. Okay. Think of these aspects when you're writing your essay. Okay. Uh, and then, for example, geographical constancy. The example of North Korea and South Korea, that is a very good example that you guys give. But you should be having the knowledge to use it in the correct place. You could have used this in the geographical constancy portion. Using this in the that geography is changing but history is not, this is a blunder. Okay, so don't do these mistakes. Okay, now the thing with this essay particularly, it is that geography remains the same, history need not be. This is a mixture of a philosophical as well as a factual essay. Okay, and there are several types of these essays which have been asked in the USA, in the UPSC. For this year also, they asked a question on forests being the economic drivers of the world or something like that. These are a mixture of factual and philosophical essays. Okay. So what should be the correct approach to these? Okay. First of all, for this particular topic, if you're talking about, what I would have done in the introduction, I would have given the example of the French Revolution. Some of you have given the example of the French Revolution. That is very good. French Revolution. Why I'm saying the French Revolution? Because France is a particular country which the geographical borders of which the country France has remained more or less constant, barring the years of Napoleon. Okay, so even then they had a monarchy, then they had a constitutional monarchy after the French Revolution, then they again had a monarchy, and then they had a democracy. Okay, geography has remained the same of France, but history has gone through several changes. Okay, this is how I would have started the introduction. Acha, one more thing you're doing in the mistake in the introduction is you guys are writing too long introductions. Okay, 2 page, 2.5 page का introduction चल रहा था. नहीं, 1.5 page, 2 pages I'm मतलब मैं खींच के बोल रहा हूँ 2 page. 1.5 pages में तुम्हारा introduction you should finish. Okay, the main marks you will get is from the body. You will not get it from the introduction. The introduction is just to set the tone of your essay. Okay, 3 paragraphs for the introduction. Optimum is 3. At most, you can write 4, not beyond that. 1 paragraph. First paragraph, either your quote or explanation of the quote or anecdote. Okay. Second paragraph. Second paragraph, if you have given the anecdote, you will explain that anecdote or you will connect it to the topic given. Third paragraph, you will just connect, you will just dissect that essay. Okay, in this essay, we will see different dimensions of why geography remains the same and history changes. We will also see the reasons why this happens, and at the same time, we will also see certain aspects of where geography has changed at the same time affecting history along with it. Okay, इतना लिखोगे तुम लोग third paragraph में. This should be the framework of your introduction. इससे ज़्यादा लंबा introduction नहीं लिखना तुम लोगों को. Okay. Then I would go into the body. Okay, the body will obviously have 2 parts. Again, several of you have not given subheadings. Dekho, the reason why I am telling you to write subheadings, it is fine. If you don't write subheadings, it is not a very big blunder. Okay, it's not like you will get very low marks for it. The thing is, many of you, you still have to practice your essays. Okay, the thing is, until and unless your flow comes in, the subheadings will help you to maintain your flow. Okay, what happens is if you're not giving these subheadings, you will continue writing on one particular aspect. You won't even realize how much you have written. Okay, this is the reason why I started to write subheadings. Okay, because if I had not been writing subheadings, एक particular body part 1 ही मैं इतना लिख देता था कि body part 2 and conclusion के लिए जगह ही नहीं बचता था. रोक ही नहीं पाता था. मैं समझ में नहीं आता कहाँ रुकूं. After that, I made a particular plan. I will write a subheading. I will write 6 paragraphs on this subheading. Then I will write 6 paragraphs on the second subheading. Then I will come to the conclusion and finish the essay. This is the same issue that you guys are facing. You are constantly writing on one particular dimension only. Because you're not giving subheadings, your flow is getting ruined in the middle. Okay. Dekho, hum log, we are not that skilled of a writer as the people who write in editorials. We have to keep certain aspects which can help us to maintain our flow. Subheadings is a thing of that. Okay, I would suggest to use subheadings. If you are confident enough not to use subheadings, then you should have the confidence that my essay has a good flow. Okay, which is not the case in several of your essays where you have not used subheadings. Okay. Okay. Then I would, after giving this particular subheading, I would go into the second part of the body. The second part of the body, you guys have written more or less the same things, and that is fine. The same points you have written, it's fine. The mistakes you are making are in the conclusion. Okay. First, say I have seen like 5 or 6 copies. Every one of you have given India in the conclusion. Same thing, Q. मतलब diversify करो आंसर को. India का if you are using India in the conclusion, it is very good. But then do not use India in the body. I personally did not use India in the body apart from one example, and I kept all my Indian examples for the conclusion. Okay, do that. Some of you have given the way forward. It's okay, but this particular topic did not exactly need a way forward. Okay. So the thing is, how will you tackle these kind of essays, which has a factual as well as a philosophical stuff? First of all, like I said, use diversified examples. Secondly, use certain philosophical essay का थोड़ा सा अगर है इसमें, तो you can use certain philosophical points also. Okay, you can write some quotes. You can write some dialogues by famous what should I say? Famous people, famous personalities. Certain speeches by famous personalities. Okay, for instance, I think Swami Vivekananda gave a speech about the unison of the West and the East. Okay, so you can use these for like different geographies, but same history or something like that. So use certain philosophical aspects also in these kinds of essays. Okay. Okay. So one more thing, conclusion is as important as your introduction and body. Okay. Conclusion, many of you have either entirely skipped the conclusion or just written 2 paragraphs of the conclusion. No. Conclusion may you have to dedicate enough space as you have to the other parts of the body. I mean, not obviously the body, but like enough उसको उतना ही क्या बोलूं, उतना ही वेटेज देना है जितना बाकी लोगों को तुम दे रहे हो, ठीक है. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is basically saying to the examiner that I have finished my essay. Now I will move to the next essay. Okay. Now if you are cutting short your conclusion, वो अचानक abrupt end हो जाता है. Okay. It looks very harrowing to the eyes. मतलब मैं एक point पढ़ रहा हूँ, अचानक वो point खत्म हो गया. Looks very odd. Okay. So give equal weightage to your conclusion and leave space for your conclusion. This is why I was telling you all in all the sessions, count how many pages you have been given in the answer booklet, and accordingly divide this essay into that many portions. Anjali, I just gave a random example. अभी तो मैं session लेते लेते मुझे उतना example याद नहीं आया, so that is why I gave the example of Swami Vivekananda. I think he gave a speech where he said that the West and the East are the thoughts of the West and the East match, but unfortunately we do not see that they match. Okay, so this can be an example. Can be. I'm not saying you can use this. It can be an example of different geographies, but the same history of philosophy. Okay. I just gave a random example here. मतलब अभी session लेते लेते उतना अच्छा example मुझे याद नहीं है. That is why just to exemplify my point कि मैं ये बोलना चाह रहा हूँ. Okay, I'm sorry I did not want to confuse you guys. Okay. अच्छा, so one thing, अच्छा positives में कुछ चीजें बोल दे रहा हूँ. First of all, many of you have used the cyclic conclusion portion. Okay, you have started with a particular anecdote, then you have ended with that particular anecdote. Very good. Okay, इसको maintain रखो, ठीक है. अच्छा, secondly, many of you know how to start your essay, which is also a very good thing. Several of you have started with a good anecdote. Several of you have started with a like a decent quote or something like that, or you have explained the topic also. That is also good. So yeah, so you guys know how to start your essay. You know how, many of you know how to conclude your essay good, nicely. Okay, that is a very good thing you have done. Acha. One more issue that I saw that you guys are facing is that you are not being able to articulate your points correctly. Okay, that is not a very big issue. That will come more and more as you practice more. So practice more essays. Many of you are facing that problem that you're not being able to articulate your points. So practice your essays, properly practice your essays. Okay. Write at least 7 or 8 essays. I don't know how many you have written till now, but before your mains, you should have written at least 8 essays. Okay. Preferably, if you can get them evaluated, that is also good. But if not, then ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. At least read your essays. अच्छा हाँ, one more thing I almost forgot to say. अच्छा, I know that you have to, in the essay, you have to consider the examiner as someone who is learning. Okay, essentially तुम्हें सब कुछ पढ़ाना है उसमें, but you don't talk in an informal language with the examiner. ठीक है, ये नहीं कहना है कि what a wonderful thought. नहीं, examiner तुम्हारा दोस्त नहीं है. Okay, उसको एक formal language में communicate करना है. Okay, this formality of language is very important. Otherwise, it will look very childish. Yes, several of you have written stuff like "what a wonderful thought" or "what a wonderful personality." Okay, nahi. You're not talking to someone. Okay, you're explaining that concept to someone who you're assuming knows nothing about that topic. ठीक है, तुम्हें उसको पढ़ाना है, तुम्हें उसके साथ conversation नहीं करना है. Okay, don't use informal languages. Okay, मतलब it will नंबर कम हो जाएंगे तुम लोगों के. फॉर्मल लैंग्वेज यूज करो थोड़ा बहुत. ओके, so yeah, that is pretty much it. Those are the several common mistakes that you guys are making. Apart from that, those specific mistakes I will like discuss those on call with you guys. So apart from that, if you guys have any doubts with this topic, please tell that to me. Okay, so just brief things I'd like to share about factual essays. Don't use charts and tables and diagrams. Okay, I saw some people have used diagrams, but not you guys. But I have been checking other essays also. Some people have used diagrams in their factual essays. This is not a GS answer. Okay, you can use statistics, you can use percentages. Diagrams नहीं use करने हैं. ठीक है, मतलब GST, essay. Okay. Apart from that, most of you know how to more or less write these types of essays. You just have to practice your essays. Okay. So yeah, if you guys have any doubts, you can ask them now, or can ask them now. वैसे तो नहीं तो तुम लोग के साथ कॉल मुझे मेरा है ही. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we can end the session. Anjali, you have a doubt?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one question about flow of essay. So, when I started, let's suppose I'm writing a social point, and right now after writing the social about social point, I want to navigate towards economic or any other aspect. How to navigate it flow like smoothly, because it's like it's some in my essays is happening. First, it's becoming a block. It's a political block. It's a economic block. It's a social block. This is how it is going.
Block by means you're saying that one paragraph is dedicated to one topic only, right?
Yeah, and there is no like connecting. Like I'm not able to generate any connecting statement which can make me to go smooth from social to economic or any another dimension.
So one thing you can do, you can use topic sentences. Okay, topic sentences are essentially the first sentence of the paragraph. You are just describing that I will be talking about this particular dimension in this particular paragraph. So, for instance, if we take this example, like what was the topic? Geography changes and history remains. Sorry, geography does not change, but history remains the same, right? Or something like that. Yeah. So essentially, you can say that we can see instances where geography remains the same, but history changes in the dimension of, say, politics also. Okay, then you can like dedicate that entire paragraph to politics. Then in the next paragraph, when you're going, you can use this same topic sentence, but you can change the dimension in this particular topic sentence. Okay, so for instance, you can say geography remains the same, but history changes in other dimensions like sports also. Okay, like this, you can use topic sentences.
Okay. Sir, one more thing.
Yeah.
Can we use when we are finishing a paragraph for society? Can we have a last statement that signifies we are moving towards political or another dimension? Can we do in this format also?
I did not understand. You have a lot of background noise actually. Can't or you're not exactly very audible.
Just one sec.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, just you're audible with just a lot of background noise. So you can just ask your question a little loud so I can hear you.
Okay, I'm saying when we are writing one paragraph, in let's suppose we are writing a paragraph on the societal dimension, and when can we use last statement to signify where we are moving in the next paragraph?
You want to this topic sentence you want to use in the last sentence of the paragraph, right?
Yeah.
I haven't used that actually. It will actually depend on how you're presenting your essay. Okay, I can't say it until I read that particular paragraph you're talking about.
Okay, I'll forward you.
Yeah.
Like a piece of writing. I will forward you a piece of writing, and like then I'll ask for feedback accordingly.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sir, I had a question.
Who was that? Vagisha, go ahead.
Yeah. So the first question is that when do I start preparing for essay? Should it be like by December, January, or should I just like be jotting down points and ideas already for the essay, like while I'm doing GS and optional?
You're giving mains next year, right, or this year?
Yeah, 2024.
2024. Okay. So you can start preparing. So look, what I used to do was I used to dedicate Sundays. I didn't like to study on Sundays. Okay, so Sundays I used to give like 2 or 3 hours for only essay writing and essay notes making. Okay. So if you can give 1 day a week for essay, that and just to jot down the points and to practice an essay, that is fine.
Right. And sir, how did you get your essays evaluated? The 8 essays that you were talking about?
I joined an essay mock. So.
Oh, all right. I thought you were doing like a peer review situation. Thank you.
No.
All right.
Acha, Raju is asking, Acha, Nimisha, I'll answer your question. Raju is asking how to think about dimensions. Raju, I had addressed this in my previous sessions, so I have shared the recording on my channel. Please go through them. Watch the second recording about philosophical essays. I have discussed this at length. Okay. Acha, Snehal is asking whether to write multiple examples of same dimension in same paragraph. One dimension, one paragraph. Okay. So yeah, multiple examples of same dimension in the same paragraph. How to collect content for essay. So first of all, I've said this before also. I am working on a book. It will help you a lot in your content collection for essay, Renu. At the same time, you can I don't know if you're giving mains this year or next year, but like I said to Bhagisha right now, you can 1 day a week you can dedicate to find out topics that have been repeating: health, education, democracy, freedom of speech, media, and then philosophical topics like integrity, compassion, patience. What else? Compassion, patience, courage, wisdom, stuff like that. Okay, these topics are some that you can use in any essay. Okay, so you collect a few quotes, 5 to 6 quotes on these topics. You can use certain anecdotes. You can think of certain anecdotes and write them down in your notes. That is how you make notes for your essay. Okay. Nimisha, how to make essay notes? So like similar way, like I said. Okay. 5 quotes for each topic you're making notes on. A few anecdotes. If it's a factual essay, then some data also. Okay. That is how you make notes.
And so we can, like, for examples, we can refer to newspaper and all those. जो ethics में examples होते हैं, we can use that also, no?
Yeah. Newspaper examples and ethics examples. That is how you make up examples in your essays. Okay, Renu?
So the different topics that you like named, health, education, and all those. So you collected like the topics from PYQs.
PYQs, yes, from PYQ.
Oh, okay, sir.
So Nimisha, you're giving 2023 names. I have shared my own essay notes on my channel. Okay, you can go through those. It will help you. But the thing is, those are not philosophical topics. Philosophical, yeah, therefore 2023 names, I am trying my best so that the book can come out very quickly. So उसमें बहुत सारे philosophical quotes and all वो हैं, वो help हो जाएगा तुम्हें. Apart from that, until that comes out, work on certain philosophical topics. देखो integrity, compassion, ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा. Okay, 1 hour max to max. Just Google करोगे ना quotes on integrity, 20-30 ऐसे quotes आ जाएंगे. उसमें से 5 तुम्हें उठाने हैं. ठीक है? Integrity, compassion, patience, perseverance, courage. ये 5 चीजें. Humility, okay? HUMILITY. These 5 things. इसको लिख लो कहीं पे. इसके ऊपर थोड़े से quotes निकाल लो. ये सारे बहुत सारे philosophical essays में यूज होंगे. Like for instance, smile is the best weapon for all contingencies. ऐसा कुछ topic था इसलिए, which I wrote. That was very similar to the topic on gratitude. Okay. So ये जो
topic, integrity, compassion, then
integrity, compassion, perseverance, courage, humility, or gratitude, whichever. Humility and gratitude are the same thing. Okay. So these 5 things are very important. इसके ऊपर quotes निकाल लो, anecdotes निकाल लो. Okay. Anecdotes तुम लोगों के पास GS के knowledge के हिसाब से 1000 होंगे. Ethics के example के हिसाब से 1000 होंगे. ठीक है? Apart from that, I'm trying my best कि book जल्दी से जल्दी आ जाए. Most probably it will come by this month only, so you'll have that also with you. That's it. Any more doubts? Okay, so there are no more doubts. I can end the session now.
So for evaluating the essay practice, like what to do for that?
Yeah, देखो, I had joined an essay mock. If you cannot join an essay mock, then you just read your essay once more. Okay. मतलब उसको लिख के साइड में हटा के रखने ही देना. Read it once more. If you read it once more, you will find that you are making some mistakes, grammatical हो या language mistakes हो या फिर you have not been able to articulate your points correctly. That also you can review like that. Or you can do one thing, you can like forward it to some of your family members or your friends. Like friends, if you have very good friends, I had a very good friend of mine who I used to send my essay to. Or you can forward it to your family members also, your father, your mother, someone or the other, and ask them to read it. Okay, but they won't give you very critical points that a particular aspirant will give you, but at least they will give you a broad understanding. You have been able to articulate your points. Okay, Renu?
So for like when we read toppers copy on essay, so did you try to emulate certain toppers' way of writing essay, or did you develop your own?
A little bit of both. So अनुदीप दुरिशेट्टी सर का मैंने नोट्स देखा था, उनका कॉपीज देखा था, तो थोड़ा बहुत उनका राइटिंग स्टाइल आई ट्राई टू इनकॉर्पोरेट इन माइन, बट मोर और लेस इट्स माय ओन राइटिंग स्टाइल. मैंने खुद से ही थोड़ा बहुत बनाया था मतलब.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I hope there are no more doubts. So I will start taking the calls from of you guys of essay calls tomorrow. I will not repeat the same points that I said today. Okay. अगर तुम्हें वो प्रॉब्लम है जो मैंने डिस्कस किया अभी, I will just mention it. I won't discuss it at length. बाकी जो specific problems है तुम लोगों के, I will point those out. Okay. So I will end the session now. You guys have no other questions? Then okay, no more doubts. So I'll end the session now. Chalo, good night, goodbye guys.
So one more thing. So that for essay practicing, like can we end it by December? Just हर हफ्ते एक practice करने के बाद में, और फिर जनवरी से तो प्री का देखना पड़ना है, फरवरी से.
हाँ बिल्कुल जनवरी, उसके बाद ऐसे लिखना भी नहीं है, फिर प्री के बाद देखना.
हाँ अगर हो जाता. Thank you, sir.
चलो, I'll end the session. चलो, goodbye guys. All the best for those who are writing the mains this year, and I'll take the calls. Bye.